As you walk through the halls of the Cancer Institute, you see cancer patients, and it's tough.
In the early 90s, the idea that you could use the immune system to treat cancer was certainly something that very few people believed in.
Immunology had promise, but no immunotherapy had worked.
So Gordon was involved in discovering molecules and making antibodies to these molecules. My laboratory made knockout mice to see how important these molecules are.
We discovered PD-L1, and we showed it was the key to PD-1, and that turned off the immune system. The surprising discovery was that PD-L1 was expressed on a good number of solid tumor cells.
This led us to hypothesize that tumor cells were exploiting PD-L1 to inhibit their eradication by the immune system.
We thought the immune system was tremendously powerful, and if we could direct it to attack a cancer, that we'd really have a successful therapy.
Gordon and Arlene's work first really crossed my radar in about 2004. What needed to happen after the initial findings is to have this moved to humans. The clinical history really begins with a small biotech called Medarex. They were then bought by Bristol Myers Squibb. Second out of the box were Merck and Genentech.
Ira Mellman was the lead scientist at Genentech who really tested PD-L1, PD-1 blockade in multiple models.
Almost right out of the gate, in phase 1A trials, you saw results. And I know now, having done drug discovery for 17 years, you never see that, or hardly ever see that. And when you do see that, you go for it, because that means you're on the right track.
I'll never forget him telling me that initially the tumors were getting bigger. And so, was the tumor growing? But no, in this case, the immune cells were going into the tumor to kill the tumor, and that's why the tumors were getting large, and then these tumors began to melt away.
To see in an early trial, you treat 10 people and half of them show you tumor response, you say, holy shit. I mean, you did something that actually worked. You helped somebody.
It just gave us so much hope that these therapies were going to really have transformational benefits.
Tecentriq and the related drugs to it are having a profound effect on people's lives.
They're now FDA-approved for about 26 different types of cancers.
The different forms of lung cancer, breast cancer, bladder cancer, liver cancer, colon cancer.
And these represent actually about 56% of all advanced metastatic cancers.
Now, a mere 10 or 15 years later, PD-1, PD-L1 blockade is now standard of care in cancer, when this whole modality simply did not exist 1 to 2 decades ago. It's just simply astounding. None of this would have ever happened were it not for basic science. And it was the work they published that basically gave the impetus to start all of this stuff.
It's just incredible to be able to sort of see the reach of this therapy and the impact that it's had.
It's kind of hard to top this. I mean, it was a, I hate the word game changer, but this was it.